Apex Legends has a gun for every occasion. Enemy far away? Consider the longbow. Enemies getting closer? Maybe you'd like the hemlock. Enemies right up in your face? Oh God! Thank goodness for the Mastiff. There's a time and place for all of the guns in Apex Legends. Sure, they all have their quirks and limitations, but used correctly, each one can be a game-winning, deadly weapon. The key is knowing which weapons are best for which situation. Divided up by ammo type, there are 6 to choose from, 7 if you want to get technical, and I do. You've got light, heavy, energy, sniper, shotgun, arrows, and then the very rare heirloom. Now, to get through every gun in the game would take hours, so get comfortable. I kid. Instead, let's take a look at some of our favorites to get you started in Apex Legends. You'll probably know all too well there are no guarantees when it comes to which weapon you'll find in Apex Legends. And hot off the drop, you'll grab whatever's closest for that first fight.
Mozambique here.
But now you've got some breathing room, and you're on the hunt for some reliable firearms. First up, the ultimate all-rounders, assault rifles. Useful at almost all distances, these guns do good damage and are pretty easy to control. You've got 4 choices here, but our top pick goes to the R301, with the flatline in a close second. What makes these so good, huh? Great question. By default, they're fully automatic, which is great for close to mid-range fights. But both guns can be switched to single fire with a little tap to the left on the D-pad. Now you've got an accurate semi-automatic weapon to harass folks from a distance, or place consistent shots through a small gap like a window. You can further improve the single fire with both weapons by finding and equipping the Anvil receiver hop-up. This uses up 2 rounds per shot, but more than doubles the damage. So how are the guns different? The R301 uses light ammo for a start, and does slightly less damage than the heavy ammo flatline. But the R301 enjoys a lower recoil than the flatline thanks to an upgradable barrel stabilizer, one of the many weapon attachments and upgrades to be found around the map. More on those in a bit. Finally, you're generally more likely to find light and heavy ammo in enemy death boxes, as they're such popular choices for all players. There's nothing worse than having a tricked out weapon with no ammo to be found anywhere. Next up, the LMG, a weapon class favoured by newcomers and seasoned players alike. Getting into a close to medium range fight and realising your enemy has one of these can be disheartening, because they just keep going and going and going. Grab an L-Star and a stack of energy ammo off the drop, and you are laughing, literally in some cases, as you mow down everyone who thought they had a chance of taking you on. Beware, this gun doesn't use magazines, instead it can overheat, so be careful not to get too trigger happy in those intense encounters. The Devotion, on the other hand, is a demon, but its critical flaw is the spin-up time from pulling the trigger. Trust me, that short wait can feel like an eternity when bullets are headed in your direction. If you stumble on a turbocharger nearby, then it's well worth committing to. Our top pick here, though, is the Spitfire. As a heavy weapon, it hits hard, and with a purple or gold mag, you'll have 50 bullets flying at your opponents before you even have to reload. That's enough to wipe a full squad of 3 with full health and heirloom armor in one clip and still have 11 rounds spare. But there lies its weakness. It fires slow for an automatic weapon, and accuracy suffers at medium to long range. As a spray and pray for close engagements, you can do some serious damage. So as these fights get closer, you've got the Submachine Guns. These fire fast, reload fast, and get damage in quick. Their speed over accuracy is why they excel in those face-to-face encounters. Get a full clip of R99 in someone as they round a corner, and they'll be looking at their death box before they even realized you were there. For new players, we cannot fault the Alternator or the Volt. Both are more manageable than the R99, which is more of a bullet hose than a gun, so you won't get punished as hard for missing a few of your shots. As your aim improves, especially in those panic moments, you can try switching back over. A general tip for very close fights, regardless of weapon, is to use hip fire at first, and only aim down sights once you're getting shots on target. The king of close range will always go to the shotguns. Slow, but oh so powerful. If you're one of those players who prides themselves with a cool head, even in fast and chaotic fights, then the shotgun may well be for you. The secret to mastery of this boomstick of instant demise is patience. Waiting for that crosshair to perfectly line up before pulling the trigger is going to make each shot count, and each shot hurt. A lot. Out of this bunch, we highly recommend the EVA 8 as a solid first shotgun to get to grips with in Apex Legends. While this weapon doesn't hit as hard as the Mastiff, it fires faster and has 2 more shots per reload. It's like the missing link between an assault rifle and a full-on single-fire shotgun. Plus, the main upgrade for all of them is a simple shotgun bolt to increase fire rate. An EVA 8 and purple bolt early doors is a formidable setup. On to the pistols. For the most part, these are guns you'll be looking to trade up once they've served the early purpose of getting you through that first scrap. They're no slouches though. The P2020 and a quick trigger finger will make light work of unarmored opponents, and the RE45 sits alongside the alternator as a solid automatic light weapon for close range. The Wingman is an absolute cannon, but takes fantastic aim and no small amount of practice to master, so not a typical go-to for new players. Now to the long range, starting with the marksman weapons. These straddle the line between standard assault rifles and all-out snipers, so it can be super useful for poking folks at middle distance or doing high damage closer in. Plus, you'll be going through less ammo in single fire, freeing up space in your inventory for a few bonus grenades. This category is home to the Bocek, a bow that hits super hard despite being entirely hand-operated. A useful bonus that's unique to this weapon is the ability to reuse arrows from around the map and the bodies of fallen enemies. Our top choice in this category though is the G7 Scout. It's a great all-rounder, a gun so popular Bangalore can be seen posing with it. Useful at all but the very longest distances, the G7 is nippy and accurate, and does the most damage per shot of any light ammo weapon. You may not hit as hard as a full-on sniper, but you will be a massive annoyance, and ultimately, that's half the game. Sniper rifles can do serious work for a team when used correctly. Harassing players who are already battling it out can score you some easy kills, and they're great at pinning teams down who are looking to peek out from cover. Much like the shotguns, snipers require a slower mindset, and also like shotguns, are mostly effective at their designated range. In the late game, when the ring is getting pretty small, you don't really want to be stuck with a slow bolt-action sniper rifle while your enemies are sporting nippy SMGs. The balance to strike here is speed versus damage. If you pride yourself on being pinpoint accurate, then a slower rifle such as the Sentinel will maximize a sniping opportunity. If you rather have the flexibility of a second shot that much sooner, then the longbow will be much more your style. But our choice for new players is neither of those. The charge rifle is a single-shot beam weapon that does small damage during the charge, but a big damage reward at the end. The best part, it is absolutely straight-line accurate. No bullet drop to contend with here. You won't always land the full damage with this rifle, but no other weapon is more annoying to come up against at range, especially when cover is at a premium. You can also use almost any scope you like, from a minimal HCOG Classic all the way up to the enormous 4-10 digital sniper threat, adding some bonus versatility. Speaking of scopes, you'll find you quickly pick favourites for different weapon types. For close to medium fights, the HCOG is never a bad choice, but a 1x digital threat can be a game changer on pistols, SMGs, and shotguns. Seeing through Bangalore's smoke or caustic's gas can turn the tide in a fight and should never be sniffed at if you come across one. Or the gas. Don't sniff that either.
Take a deep breath.
The rest of the upgrades all serve to improve your weapon or add new functionality. Magazines improve your weapon's ammo capacity, stocks improve handling speed. That's the raise, lower, and ADS time on your gun, as well as reduce weapon sway. Barrel stabilizers do just that, stabilize that recoil. And of course the shotgun bolts, which increase fire rate. The level of improvement is down to the rarity, with white being the most common, followed by blue, purple, and finally gold. You can see exactly what each item does in-game by hovering the cursor over it in your inventory. Oh, that mystery 7th ammo type? While not strictly an ammo type, there are special heirloom weapons that can be exclusively collected from loot drops throughout a match. These come with all the ammo you're getting, I'm afraid. Once they're empty, you may as well be running around with a gun-shaped rock. In this category, you've got the Prowler SMG, the Triple Take Marksman Rifle, and the Kraber Sniper Rifle. These are by far the most powerful in each of their weapon classes, with the Kraber able to drop a fully armored player in a single shot. Don't bank on finding one of these in-game, but if you do, they're well worth grabbing before someone else does and inevitably kills you with it. The only thing now is to get out there and give these guns a try. Every player is different, and you may well find you develop a deep and undying love for even the most unique weapon. Even the Mozambique.
I downed an enemy.
Probably.